Hey friends, this is Abby from AV Tarot Reading, and I'm in work mode. 2 hours to get so much done, and one of the things that I wanted to do today was actually give you a quick show and tell of my sacred space, my treehouse, my working room for all the readings and the tarot sessions that I complete and the spirit work that I do, the place in which I do this work at. So I wanted to show and tell. So we're gonna pretend that we're stepping out of the treehouse and then stepping back in, because we have to be dramatic, and I'll just show you around. Hold on. Maybe we'll just hop out, right? There we go. So we're gonna hop out. That's my backyard. My little lamps. I know the lighting is terrible, but this is the outside of my treehouse, so you can see inside. Hopefully I don't step on anything. So yeah, that's the plane. But let's go ahead and open the door. It's a nice little locked door. Ooh, so when you first come into the treehouse, the first thing you see is my two big ass, one, I gotta get the key out of the door. There we go. My two big bookshelves. I have these massive bookshelves that are holding a mass collection of astrology books that are going up into the Etsy store. And that's like the first thing you see when you walk in, and my two little winter plants that are up there. But anytime I walk in, I kicked off the shoes because just even though it's a little rundown carpet, it's my rundown carpet. Some really nice vintage books. Like these are all 70s, 80s books. Not very many of them are modern, which is kind of the appeal of them, where it's like these pieces are kind of like not exactly history per se, but this is like where them old school astrologers came from. So I have like mad respect for these titles and these books, and so I'm enjoying being able to share them with the collective and to find them new homes. And I have some books here that I recently located, and they need a home in the shelf eventually. But if we turn into the right hand side of my treehouse, and you'll see me in the in the window, I have my little plant, and this is a rough ancestral altar. Come Halloween or Samhain, I'll do it up, I'll dress it up and make it very interesting and dynamic. But right now it holds I call it my family album, because this is like the photos of the people of my family. Most of these are photos of my mom, my grandmother, my great-grandmother. This is one. She is, gosh, so not my great-grandmother, but it's my great-grandmother's great-grandmother. So how many people is that far back? So I have the history, I have the lineage of the side of my family that they come from. And this is my actual grandmother when she was younger. And I've done so much history and family work just so that I can better understand my legacy and where I come from. I understand that many of these people never knew that I existed and may not even be okay with my existence, but that was then. And I feel like now that they're in spirit, it's like it doesn't matter now. I get to know them, I get to understand them through the adult lens, through the spirit lens that I have now. And all that I feel from them when I do spirit work or do ancestral work is that they have pride in me. And I'm grateful for that. That to me is what is important. So I spent a lot of time in this book actually because I do a lot of ancestral work. I do a lot of past life readings. I do a lot of ancestral readings on the deceased persons in this book, and I store them in this journal that this is an ongoing project, so I realized it was going to take a lot of time. If you haven't seen any of the videos of me doing this is tarot readings of my deceased family members. So this is just like it's a zodiac style spread that I do for each person, and I take their photo and put the photo into, or a copy of the photo into their page in the book, and I do this quite long tarot reading, and I'm going to get those anchored in more permanently here soon. But it's almost like a lengthy conversation with my literal ancestors. Like this is my grandmother on my father's side, whom I've never met. She died before I was born, and I found out while doing this work that her mother is one of my spirit guides. So the energy of her is an energy that I always feel around me, and I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know until I was doing this work that she was one of those souls that was there, and I was so proud of that. And it was so nice to get to know her in that way, and all I felt was just more pride from her towards me. So my goal is to fill this book up with as many ancestors as I can over time, and then have this as like a an extended family heirloom. Like, I don't know a single person who's ever done this. This is going to be like my personal project, my gift to my family, my ancestral line. My life is going to be this. So I'm super thrilled to be able to do that. And then that key just seems totally symbolic to me. So totally have to do it. I have some notes from my father about my line on his side, so we're just using that as information. We got some tools, some candles, and some incense that stays in there. And then some of charcoal discs and some tarot decks that are not like in use at the moment. So these are ones that I'm definitely keeping. I'm not offloading any of these, but just right now they don't call to me to be worked, and I don't use them. And these are the same down here. I have some decks that I store in here, some notebooks. You always have to have notebooks when you're a tarot reader like me because I write everything down. I have some excess fabric, some extra cards, some extra books, some cases, some other books. So these are just my little important pieces that I get to keep. I have a tarot set over here as well too. But yeah, there's my little trash can. That little bowl right over there is like a little burn bin. I keep all the things that need to be burned and decommissioned in there. And of course, with this rug, you have to have a vacuum cleaner. So, ta-da! Here's the vacuum cleaner. It's a work of art. So this is my reading space to give you like a far as I can back up view. So 9 times out of 10, if you see a tarot session, I conduct it here. If you get a reading done with me, I'm doing it from that light there. I have that window shining in as I do a lot of my work. I get to watch the birds. I get to watch the squirrels. I get to open these windows in the spring and the summer and just kind of have all that fresh air running in. This is like my favorite space to be, next to my altar, but I'll talk to you about that in a sec. So yeah, as of right now, this is a working space. So this is always evolving. This is always shifting. This is always messy because it's just suited to my needs at the moment. So you have my juice that was from earlier today. These are the cards that I was working with earlier today. This is the cards that I'll be using for a past life reading I'll be doing after I do this video. I have an unboxing I'll be doing later. I have my tea that's going to keep me sane, and my throat coat that's going to keep me talking like I have some sense. This is a Hobonichi Weeks notebook that I keep kind of like my notes on my spiritual practice in here. Like, this is my heart and this is my brain. So this is just a regular bullet journal that I do a lot of my life planning in, and I could not live without either of them. And I do a lot of my video planning in there. And I make my own candles, and these are just my working candles is how I think of them. These are candles that I have lit every time I come into session or come into work at this desk. This candle gets lit, even if no other candles do or no incense or anything to that nature gets lit. I also carry 2 cards all the time. I have Osiris on one side and Anubis on the other, and that feels right for me in my practice, and so that's why I do it, and I listen to that. I have my bell on this corner, which is an excellent bell for clearing energy, creating space, and I have some other bells, some stones, some incense that I made, my little charcoal burner cauldron, a little place where I dispose of my excess or my used matches. What do you call this? This is my dip pen. Life is not complete without a beautiful dip pen. Oops, excuse me. We have to have a mortar and pestle. This one's cast iron. Tell me that's not amazing. And some artwork. And I plan to get art on the walls. It's been about a year now and I haven't done it yet, but I plan to. Like, I even have the post from the old artwork that was here, so I plan to do that. I have 2 tarot bags. One is like the Odisha tarot, and the other one is the something witch tarot. And I have a spider web that I don't even know if you can see. You can kind of make it out just there. Spiderweb. It's funny, living in a treehouse, you have to live with the spiders, so we just go with it. And so this is my altar, and it's I don't even know what to describe it. I don't work here all that often because the lighting doesn't work for the projects that I do, but I really like this space when I feel like I need to do something meaningful, or if I need to make something magical, or do something for myself, or kind of heal my heart, or heal something, take care of myself. This is how, or this is where I would do it at. And often it starts with oils or sprays, and I have a ton of them and I love them. These oils in particular were made for me by a friend, and these are sprays that I purchased from this particular lady, Cultivated Hippie. There's her Instagram, find her stuff. These smell amazing. And then Witch's Moon Apothecary have some amazing oils. I noticed that I wasn't going through the oils as fast as I would like, and I started using the oils in my candles. And so, like, I have this working candle. It's almost gone. It's almost all the way done. But I already have this one prescribed and ready to go. So when this one's all done, I will take that flame and light it over there, and then ta-da, I have a new candle starting. I don't know if you do any scribing on the top of your candles, but I really like to use this glass dip pen for that, because it's pointless as an actual dip pen. It is absolutely useless because it's a straight nib. I guess is the way that I can describe it. Because it's straight, it holds no ink. Now I have a beautiful twisted one. Oops, there we go. That is stunning and so beautiful to work with. So I love that one. And all my pens, because I write, I take notes, I do things all the time. Little incense holder that I adore, little incense that I adore. But yeah, back to the altar. And this cloth is just a fabric, nothing special. It was beautiful blue shade of color that my wife fell in love with because she loves maps, and we just like, yep, need to have it, so we're getting it, and it's on the altar now. So yeah, I have some quartz, I have some quartz, I have some quartz, I have some rose quartz, I have some Anubis. I like me some Anubis. I have another Egyptian statue here. I like her too. I have some candle holders, I have some labradorite, I have some fluorite spheres, I believe this is glass. As much as I would love for this to be crystal, this is glass. I don't know if I could bring crystal into this house. Like, I would love to have a crystal sphere that was that clear, but I kind of love the texture that non-clear crystal actually holds. So we'll have to see. But I have some, actually I don't remember which one this is, because this has a feature. Where'd it go? There it is. This is a feature. I don't know what to call this one. If you know what this is called, totally let me know. But this is another sphere that I love to just have in my arsenal for grounding or settling or getting out of my head and getting back to a physical reality instead of an emotional thing, to whatever the thing is. This is a labradorite sphere as well. I really like labradorite. Labradorite necklace, or bracelet that was made for me. Thank you. Oops. Oops. Thank you. I have a tiny little pelt here that I adore having. Some fractured quartz that is just, you can't tell me you cannot look at that and find something meaningful and beautiful. This is a mala that I made, a bird nest that I located on a walk. And it's been holding the sphere that I adore so much that I just like, okay, we go together now. I'm gonna have to fix that later. Some desert rose. It's the biggest piece of desert rose I've ever come in contact with, so I was grateful for the witch's roots for providing that to me. Have a little eucalyptus bundle. I had planned to set these white candles in my candle holders, and I just haven't yet, because I like to give my candles intention. I don't like to just light a candle for no reason. So it's like, what purpose do they serve? And I haven't assigned one as of yet. So I'm thinking maybe the next holiday or the next change of season. Spring is coming in, maybe at the start of spring or at the start of summer. One of those reasons will be a good reason why. This is a, what would you call it? I call it like a little clearing. It's not useful as a fan at all, but it's something that I made. And these are crow feathers that I've found over time, a little clear quartz, a little hemp rope from my witch's boxes that I get all the time, a little bit of lavender from my garden, selenite, and the stick in there. That's kind of the handle. Oops, came from a hawk nest that I found at a local park. Like, I saw the twig fall from the nest, and that's when I went and grabbed it. So I was thankful for that little gift. This is a macaw feather that I absolutely adore. And I feel like this is the katana of feathers. This is the surgeon's blade of feathers. If any reason something needs to be cut off or cut away or cut back or cut off, this is the feather that I do it with. And there's so much precision in that feather. I can't even tell you how much of a surgeon's knife that feels like to me. This is my spirit working candle. I use this when I'm contacting my ancestors or my deceased relatives. So this is my candle of communication to them. And then I have my little frogs, which is kind of like a little totem between me and my grandfather. We both had an affinity for frogs. So anytime I work with spirit, I like these. It's kind of like a thank you, come and hang out with me, sir. This is a little broom that I made, a little cinnamon broom. I didn't make the broom, but I made the little pouch that goes with it. And this is designed, or I made this with the idea of clearing energy and then leaving behind an effervescent feel. And for me, it works that way. It's just, it takes off what's there, it puts back something kind of fuzzy and fizzy, and I enjoy that. I enjoy that so much. And then I have this other brass bell that I used for also clearing energy and cleansing space. So if you hear it for a second, that to me just sounds amazing. Oops, come on. Yeah, that is a beautiful sound to my ears, and that's all that matters. I have some incenses that I'm pausing on using because I have all these books in here. I don't want to smoke out the books, but I really enjoy resins and herb loose mix incenses, and those are just a favorite. So when I do get a chance to use them again, I'm excited. I have a little copper cauldron, some messy bits, some things that I love to have, and some salt. I feel like salt is always useful for everything. Now, if we're looking at the far corner of my room, it's getting like under the details and getting into the mess, and this is like the nuts and bolts of the room. I have some herbs that I've collected and kind of maintained, some bits of trees and some powder that I made, some leaves and some flowers from the garden. I have some sage that I pulled from my own garden here, a grinder that I keep there, some seasonings and roots and herbs that I keep for various purposes. And then I have some ink for petitions and some sage that I maintain. And I have some more candles. And then this sewing box has so much stuff in it. It's like my little my little space where I hide my things. And I don't even really hide anything, but it's just like, it's a great little space to kind of put the little tidbits that stick around. So just to show some oils, some candles, some labels, some things to clean things, some more oils and stuff. And I got petition papers on the other side. But yeah. Is there anything else that I can share that I can, oops, let me not fall over. Let me do it once around. I think that's about it. You can see my lights. Those things keep me very yellow. The room keeps me very orange, and that's why I do so much color correcting, but I try really hard to be pretty, change it back to me. Hi, look at that, just on my face. Anywho, so I hope you liked my treehouse. I hope you liked my show and tell. If you have any questions about anything that you saw, please feel free to let me know in the comments below, and I have no problems chatting with you about what the meaning behind something is, or what is it that I use something for. Or if you even want to share with me your little sacred space, or your altar, or your little spot, I would love to see it. Share. Alrighty, you take care.